Good evening, welcome back to the Fireburns Within channel. This video is like a roundup video for the first quarter of the year. The first quarter of the year of 2021 is already done. 3 months is done. Today is 1st of April, April Fool's Day. This is not an April Fool's video, this is the real thing. My top 15 albums of the year so far, the first quarter of 2021. I've liked a lot of albums. There's been a lot of cracking albums. I've sorted out a top 15. I'm gonna give little sample clip videos at the end of this little talk. I'm gonna list them first, and then at the end I'm gonna give a little 20-second sample of each album, little bits that I think represent the album well. So anyway, let's just quickly list these. I don't want to make the video too long because the samples at the end will make it a bit longer anyway. So in 15th place I've got Joe Hoekstra's 13 with Running Games. This was a really good album, very melodic, very heavy. Joel, he's a great songwriter. I mean, I don't know if he got his due rewards in Whitesnake when he was there, but this solo album of his is awesome. Russell Allen on vocals, just a great melodic, heavy rock album, very enjoyable. In 14th place, we've got Warrior Path and the Mad King. It's Cypriot power metal band, fronted now by Daniel Hyman, ex of Lost Horizon. This is a killer power metal release, epic vocals, just epic is the only word for this one. Awesome album. In 13th place, I've got Labyrinth, Welcome to the Absurd Circus. Labyrinth, Italian power metal legends. Very good album, very good production, very expansive songwriting. Roberto Tiranti on vocals, he's on top form. Rob Tyrant, as he used to be in the old days, to use his English moniker. But now he's reverted back to his Italian, Roberto Tiranti. Okay, I love that album anyway, Labyrinth, awesome stuff. It came 13th place so far this year. Very cool. In 12th place, we've got Paladine and Entering the Abyss. This album was awesome. It was released just a week or so ago in late March, and it makes my top 15 of the year. I just love this. This is awesome, melodic, epic, heavy power metal. This is right up my street. In 11th place, we've got Art of Illusion and X Marks the Spot. Art of Illusion is the project with Grand Illusion members, the main man from Grand Illusion, I always forget his name, and of course Lars Safsund from Work of Art. Anything Lars sings on, I'm all over like a bad rash. The guy's voice is just, he's got a phenomenal voice for this type of AOR, this sort of like epic, grand AOR. This one is a good project because Grand Illusion is quite a sort of interesting band. They've got good ideas about sort of how to make things more epic, more theatrical, and this album is a good mix between a little bit of theatre and a little bit of sort of normal AOR. A very cool album. Right, we reached the top 10 so far. In 10th place, I've got Everdawn and Cleopatra. Everdawn is a American symphonic power metal band that used to be called Midnight Eternal. They changed their name to Everdawn, changed style I think a little bit as well, not too much but a little bit I think from what I recall. They've got a female fronted female singer. She's forget her name, Alina Gavrilenko, something like that. She's an awesome singer. She's basically sitting on Taria's throne as the queen of operatic female vocals. I mean, she really is a great singer if you enjoy the operatic style, which I do. And she does have a very expressive, quite normal voice as well. She's not always going into full opera mode. And I enjoy the songs a lot as well on Everdawn. Very cool songs. Okay, in 9th place we've got Sunstorm and Afterlife. Again, this was released in March, not too long ago. There was a lot of trouble with this release. A lot of shenanigans with Jolene Turner calling out Frontiers saying, well, they put it on Joe's table, he turned it down, so they've got every right to release it. A lot of people don't like the idea of this release. They just find it, I don't know, they find it that with Jolene not involved, it shouldn't be called Sunstorm, which is fair enough. I mean, you could say it shouldn't be called Sunstorm, but in the end, that doesn't take anything away from the music and the songs. The music is top notch. It's just amazing, classic melodic heavy metal / hard rock, if you want. I mean, the only thing that's slightly odd is that Frontiers were saying that this was going to be quite a softer album, or I don't know, they were mentioning AOR, but it's quite a heavy album actually. I mean, the guitar work on this from Simone Mulleroni is just top class. I mean, the guy's guitar work is just awesome. And Ronnie Romero, he sings very well on this album. He turns in one of his best performances, in my opinion, anyway. Okay, in 8th place, the only death metal album in this top 15 at the moment is Incinerate and Back to Reality. This was released just in March. I just love this album. It's awesome. It's groovy, catchy, stomping, tempo change led death metal. I mean, it's got just great riffs, great grooves, memorable headbanging moments. Just, this is exactly how I like my death metal to be. Very catchy, very groovy, just cool stuff. Okay, in 7th place, again sticking with March. This is why March was such an amazing month, as I showed in my roundup of March. Auden Ogan, Final Days. Auden Ogan, just an amazing band, quality all the way through. They don't have any sort of like weak link in my opinion. They've just released quality after quality, and this, whilst not, I wouldn't say it's even their best album, it's still a very high quality album, and it easily makes my top 10 and my top 15 so far of the year. So yeah, Final Days, excellent album, in 7th place. In 6th place, I'm still staying with March. March was so good. It's Primitai and Violence of the Skies, the English heavy metal band, English power metal band. I just love this album. The more I listen to it now, the more it grows on me. It's just very catchy. I love the production. I love the solos. The solos are really, really catchy, really memorable. Very cool, very melodic. I like the singer's voice, Guy, the singer. He's got a really nice voice. Sometimes it goes high. It's very sort of expressive. I just love the melodies. I mean, they're quite captivating. Okay, in 5th place, staying with the UK, it's the almighty Inglorious and We Will Ride. I love Inglorious. Nathan James, he's just a top class, soulful, melodic singer. The album is probably their best. It's easily their best produced album. Very chunky, very heavy. He's basically got a new band around him, 3 new guys. I've seen them on tour as well with this lineup, with the new lineup. I saw them with the old lineup, saw them with this lineup. They were awesome. Whoever's in the band, because when you got Nathan singing, I mean, he was just he's just a great front man, great voice. He's one of the most soulful rock singers, so he sort of got something different about him as well because of the soulful way he sings. Very cool album, just loved it. In fourth place, I'm staying with March. It's Secret Sphere and Lifeblood, which won my album of the month for March, so it has to obviously be high up in this list of top 15 for the first quarter of the year. I just love this album. I think it's really melodic, it's really catchy. The guitar work from the main man Aldo Lonobile, he's on fire on the guitars. The guitars are beautifully produced, very crunchy, very melodic. The songs are memorable. The singer's doing a good job. I mean, you can tell his accent is there, but it doesn't bother me. He's doing a real solid job, and the songs are really catchy. They, you know, once you start hearing them a few times, they really get under your skin and you start enjoying them more. Okay, in third place, we've got Need and Orchestrion, a song for the end. This was released way back in the early parts of January. Very cool album, progressive, heavy metal from Greece. The scene in Greece is very strong these days. This is the second Greek band in my top 15, and if you include the Cypriot band, which is Warrior Path, we've got 3 from the same region, which is pretty cool, really. Need is just epic progressive metal, heavy, melodic. Vocals are very clean, very nice. The album is like the ending of the trilogy that they've been working up to. It's just an awesome release. Some great melodies, great songs, epic stuff. Okay, the top 2. Well, the top 2 are both Swedish. Well, one's an international group, but mainly Swedish. We'll get there. In second place is Cry and the 2 album. These Swedish boys, they've knocked it out of the park with this. This is just an awesome AOR release. It's very modern in feel, so it's got this sort of slight. It's not like 80s AOR so much. It's sort of very modern, shiny, slightly poppy AOR. But the poppiness doesn't bother me. I mean, the melodies are just very addictive. The production is just monstrous. It's like huge. When you listen with headphones especially, it's just a great, huge, wide, expansive listen. I mean, big, thick guitars, big vocals, keyboards, just huge hooks, lots of melody, lots of sound, noise. It's just very all-encompassing, you know, very catchy. But of course, the number 1 album so far of the year, I mean, I gave this a full 10 out of 10. I can't find fault with this release. It's WET and Retransmission. Well, WET or WET, if you want to call them that. But this is a project, of course, with 2 Swedes and an American singer, Jeff Scott Soto, Eric Martinson, Robert Saul. Basically, Eric writes most of the tunes. I think he gets a little help from here and there from the others. He writes most of it, I think, the majority, with maybe some help from Robert from Work of Art, and obviously Jeff has a hand in the vocal melodies. But I mean, Eric, I don't know, I run out of things to say about that guy. He's just an awesome songwriter. I mean, every song he writes is blessed with a hook, like a hook that will shake foundations. You know, it's stadium-sized melodic rock hooks. And Jeff, he sounds on top form on this album. The production is awesome. I mean, the songs are just like nowhere near any kind of filler on the album. I mean, even the most average song on the album is just a great killer song. I mean, what can you say about it? I mean, there's some huge songs on this album. So anyway, that was it. That was my top 15 of the year so far, the first quarter of the year. Top honours go to WET. It's a 10 out of 10 album for me. I can't find fault with it. It's going to be very hard to beat that for my album of the year for this one. I mean, the only band that can possibly do it is Powerwolf, because I am a huge fan of Powerwolf, and they're going to be releasing an album in July, I think, Call of the Wild. The front cover of it just got released a while ago, so I'm looking forward to that immensely. I could give that a 10 out of 10 as well, but then it will still be getting the same as WET. So it's just a matter of how many plays I can get between the two to see who's the number one. But then again, the Powerwolf might not be number one. You never know. But I mean, I've got faith in those guys. But at the moment, it's WET. Top honours for my album of the year so far, the first quarter. Anyway, enough talk. Now I'm going to play little clips of this top 15. So stay tuned for that. Hope you enjoyed this video and see you in the next one. Okay.
Forcing the right, I have to know. Stand to the ground, face the unknown. War comes so far from the hill. Sanity lost in the fire. Sign of the darkness spreading the wheel. Magical journey across the rain of the night. Tonight we ride the velvet skies, fuel injected eyes, wild and free, the rush to be alive. In the 11th hour, we live on power, live life wild and free. Somewhere in my mind I hum not too late.